Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a really weird kind of card. It's a hit and run card. And it's a kind of hit and run card unlike we've ever seen before. Now, we are talking new Delibird here, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that our translation here does come from the lovely Antoine Boulet. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Maybe it's just me, and I might be alone on this. I might be on an island. If I am, I apologise. But why can Delibird not be like exclusively in the November set and always be spoiled in the run-up to Christmas? Why do we have to get a new Delibird revealed in March? It's blatantly a Christmas Pokemon. I want my March reveal. I'm sorry if that sounds miserly. Now, what we've got here is 90 HP, which is kind of nice, of course, because it does mean we get access to Level Ball. So that's easily searched. We've got a retreat cost of 1, which means free retreat with U-turn board, which is quite nice. And we've got a weakness to metal here, and look. Something like Zacian is going to KO you very, very easily. Something like Duraludon, you're actually surviving because they hit for 30, it's doubled to 60. So I don't mind a weakness here. Because essentially you're either not getting KO'd or easily getting KO'd. But if there's some kind of metal Pokemon around doing 50 damage that everyone's playing that I've forgotten, please do remind me in the comment section. But for the time being, I think we're probably going to be okay. And you are a water Pokemon. That means you can accelerate energy with Frostmoth. You might not want to, but you can. It's an option. And it means that you can search out your energy with Capacious Bucket, if that's the kind of thing you're into. It means you are hitting weakness against those fire decks like Center Scorch, etc. Though, again, I'm going to be honest with you, it's we're not really looking to do a huge amount of damage with this one, I think is fair to say. What we've actually got here, I mean, there is a damaging attack, right? There is an attack that does damage, but we don't need the lovely Antoine to do any lovely translation here. What we've got is 1 energy, 10 damage. No one's getting excited about that. This is not exciting. 1 energy, 10 damage, nobody cares. Like, even if you're hitting for weakness, you're doing 20. 1 energy 20 isn't that good. Even if you use Vitality Band and are hitting for weakness, you're doing 40 damage. 1 energy 40 damage isn't great. It's fine. But really, 1 energy 40 is alright if you're hitting for weakness and then KOing something like a Jirachi. So let's not spend any more time on this. But there is a very interesting attack here that we can take a gander at. It is Delivery. For just 2 colorless energy, return this Pokemon and all cards attached to it to your deck. Then search your deck for any 1 card and put it into your hand. And Delibird has always had a history of these weird kind of attacks, because Delibird is the Pokemon that dressed like Santa and wanders around and gives you presents, right? That is literally what Delibird does. So I kind of appreciate that this attack works in the way that it works. It makes me honestly kind of happy. The question is, can we actually use this attack? And the answer is yes. Yes, we actually can. I genuinely really like this as a setup attack. This isn't some kind of tee-hee-hee fun kind of Pokemon, although it is. This is a genuinely good Pokemon. So let's take something like, I mean, the previous Delibird we got was in Lost Thunder. It rotated a little while ago. But Delibird, for a single colorless energy, choose any number of your bench Pokemon that don't have tools and then attach a tool from your deck. On the one hand, yes. And on the other hand, you're attaching a bunch of tools and then probably giving up a prize we don't really like it. Now, the one from Guardians Rising had a huge amount of potential here, because you flipped until you got tails, and for each head you search your deck for any card and put it into your hand. But firstly, it relied on coin flips. There was a 50-50 chance you got nothing. Even with Glimwood Tangle, it would be a little awkward. And then, of course, and this is like I said about the previous Delibird, you're just leaving it in the active ready to take a hit. You get to search for cards, but then your opponent gets a free hit on you. And I don't like my opponent having a free hit. I don't like the idea that my opponent can just, well, like I just said, get a free hit. It's awkward. I don't like giving up prizes like that. And that is where this Delibird comes in so beautifully. Because like all of the best Pokemon, like my favourite Mean Chow, and that is incidentally the Pokemon from Battle Styles I am most excited about, kind of sad it didn't get a pre-release promo, because no one but me would have wanted it and I could have got a playset, but never mind. You do the hit, you get out the way, and I mean really here we're talking about Lily's Pokédoll. And this does two things. A combination of Delibird and Lily's Pokédoll do two things. Firstly, it means you are not leaving Delibird in the active ready to give up a prize. You're leaving Lily's Pokédoll in the active, and your opponent can KO Lily's Pokédoll, but they don't take a prize for doing so. Secondly, you don't lose any resources. I mean, I haven't said it yet, but let's be clear. We're thinking Twin Energy here. Sure, in a fire deck, you could use something like Welder, but generally speaking, right, this Delibird, we're using Twin Energy. 2 energy, non-GX, non-V, non-rulebox, essentially Pokemon. So, although that's not the phrasing they use, let's be clear. And then you get to search for any card. And then I put a Lily's Pokédoll active, or something that can take a hit, and my opponent doesn't get a prize, but I do get that perfect card. And yeah, sure, I can only play 4 Twin Energy in my deck, and yeah, sure, they're kind of hard to recover, but it doesn't matter. I'm not losing that Twin Energy. I'm not having it KO'd, the Delibird that is, and finding myself down a Twin Energy. It goes back into my deck ready to use later. And you know what? If you're playing, I mean, especially if you're playing a deck with Twin Energy and Lily's Pokédoll, I adore this as a one-off, because bearing in mind, right, this can be gotten with a Quick Ball, but also it doesn't take a space on your bench. So let's say you're absolutely desperate, you got nothing at all. You can Quick Ball for a Dedenne, but multiple downsides happen when you play Dedenne. Firstly, you've lost a bench space. Secondly, you've had to discard your entire hand in order to draw 6 new cards. And thirdly, you've now got a 2-prize Pokemon on your bench, ready for your opponent to play a boss's orders and KO it. It's fine, you know, I play 1 Dedenne in my Escadrille deck, but it's very much a case of I will play this if I have to. If I'm forced to. If nothing else is going to work, I will do this. But I really don't want to. It's when I'm a little bit desperate. That's where Delibird comes in. This isn't a hit-and-run Pokemon such that you're going to use it turn after turn after turn after turn like Mean Chow, but it's going to be a case of, yeah, I really need to get a Professor's Research right now or I'm off. And this isn't sitting on your bench, you've not taken up a bench space. It's not sitting there ready to give up 2 prizes. It's not taking any of your resources, though it has taken your attachment for the turn, and that is important. You are using an attachment. And then you're off and rolling. And here's the thing, right? Here's the counter-argument that a lot of people are going to go for, and a bunch of you may have already shouted at the screen. Well, hang on a second, Wassy. If you use Delibird to go and search for the perfect card, your opponent is going to play something like a Marnie or a Reset Stamp, if they can, if they've got any chance, to give you a new hand to screw over what you were trying to do before. And you're probably right. Because if I've got a Marnie in hand and I know my opponent has gone and searched for the perfect card they need, I'm going to be pretty gosh darn tempted to play a Marnie. But here's the thing. Who cares? Like, if I've got nothing in my hand, if I am desperate, and I go and search out a supporter, and then you Marnie me to a new hand of 5, it's 4, but then you'll draw for turn, so you'll end up with 5 cards. I've got a new hand of 5 cards. And if I'm drawing absolutely nothing and I'm completely desperate, you had better believe that a new hand of 5 cards sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. So I'm in, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely in. I really like this. I think mid-game searching for some kind of random energy card I'm not loving, but I think in the early game to really help you get rolling, I like it. Of course, there are other options. The Snorlax and Vivid Voltage will end your turn while letting you draw till you got 7 cards in your hand. And it also, you know, it sits there in the active with 130 HP. Now, you've got to get in and out of the active, but Snorlax is clearly a nice emergency option here. Though, again, will end up sitting there on your bench, whereas Delibird will go away. And I think that's the real key for Delibird here. It does its thing and it gets out of the way. It doesn't take up a bench space. And it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think you need to be playing something like Lily's Pokédoll to really take advantage of it. Though any Pokemon that could take a hit is fine, and you've always got stuff like Casola. If you attack and KO it, you've got to flip a coin, or your opponent flips a coin, and if they flip heads, you go down too, which is annoying. But I do think there's potential here. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I don't think it's a phenomenal, stunning card that's going to take over every single deck, but I absolutely do think in the right deck it could be a great option for getting yourself rolling in the early game without having to worry about losing bench space, leaving multiple prize Pokemon on your bench, etc. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.